Yo, what is up? You watch Aquafunk Aquatics with me, Aquafunk. I am so glad you're here today because I want to talk to you about a fish that is a staple in the fish keeping community. It's a fish that I'm not really big about, but I'm gonna tell you why, because this is a pros and cons of Livebearers. I'm talking about the mollies, the platies, the swordtails, the variators, and the guppies. Now, if you're new to the hobby and you've been to some of the pet stores and seen all the fish, you've come across this fish, and sometimes it's the reason why you got an aquarium in the first place. So many different colors of these fish. The finnage, even on the regular ones, are pretty decent as far as the mollies and platies and variators go, but they also come in a variety of finnage. So you can get regular ones and then you can get fancy ones, and they're really not that expensive. You can pack a tank with these fish and not really come out of pocket too much. Same thing for the guppies. The guppies are the same way. There's so many different color variations. Now with the guppies, the males are more prettier as far as coloration goes than the females, but in recent years, due to selective breeding, the females' finnage has been more colorful, whereas back in the day, the females were not at all as colorful as they are now. But so you can get all these fish, not spend a whole lot of money. They're pretty hardy fish with a decent tolerance for pH. So you don't have to worry about pH too much. You don't have to worry about food too much because they eat pretty much anything. Those are the pros. Great fish, easily found. And if you're breeding for profit, these are, like I said, a staple. So you can definitely get rid of them. Now, because they're so common, you may not be able to get rid of them for, you know, as much money as you might like, but you can definitely get some store credit and stuff like that. With the guppies though, it's a little bit more problematic because most pet stores want primarily males because of the coloration. At any rate, those are all the pros. Great fish to have. You can't go wrong with them. But I got to talk to you about the cons. And this is one of the reasons why I don't keep this fish, is because they are incredibly prolific breeders, which can also be a pro too. You can buy a male and 2 females of any of these, and in a very short time have a tank full of them. You know, it's great to watch. You know, that's one of the fun things. It's great to watch. You can see birth. You can see, you know, the fish get pregnant. But being prolific breeders, one of the irritating things I have about these fish, in both the guppies and the mollies and platies and stuff like that, is most of the time, if you see a male, he's harassing females. So if you get these fish, you definitely want to get more females than males. But because they are so prolific, now you have a problem. Okay, and this is the problem. They grow, they reproduce so much, you can overstock a tank to the point where your filtration cannot handle it. So you're constantly having to remove them. Now, they will eat their young, they will predate on young some, you know, so if you're gonna do this, you wanna have a lot of hiding spaces for the babies. But if you don't want a lot of babies, if you're not trying to do this for money, you know, maybe you can get some other fish in the tank that will eat baby fish. But sometimes, you know, people are a little squeamish about that. Definitely a cool fish. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're fish that I want, but I'm just not quite prepared for the reproduction of them. You know what I mean? I have seen all male guppy tanks, incredibly cool looking tanks where it's just a whole bunch of assortment of male guppies, and the same thing for the mollies, platies, swordtails, and variators, where it's all males and you don't have to worry about that stuff. But now you have to differentiate from the males and females, which is pretty easy to do. The males have a stick, a tang. It is a long appendage coming from right at the bottom at the anal fin, where it's just really long. Now this thing is movable. You'll see it moving around and stuff like that. But you know, it is a stick. And being Livebearers, and for those of you who don't know what a Livebearer is, fish spawn in 2 different ways. One is egg laying, and one is Livebearer. Livebearers, the male actually inseminates the female, like humans, and she gestates the young and then pops out live young, whereas other fish will have eggs that have to be fertilized outside of the female's body, and they have a hatching time. So that's what a Livebearer is. It's a fish that gives birth to live young. like I said, it's a great fish. You can find them anywhere, relatively cheap, so you never run out of assortments. But you have to worry about overstocking the tank and possibly crashing the tank if you don't do anything about these extra babies. But anyway, that's a little, you know, if you're just starting out the hobby, I really want you to know about this, because it's kind of expensive buying fish, right, and keeping your tank stocked and stuff like that. But if you get these, you really only have to buy them one time. Give it a little bit of time and you'll have a tank full of fish. So just a little food for thought, something to think about. And that's my time. Like always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of your fish.